The Chinese Labour Corps is about the Chinese involvement in the First World War, which isn't really very well known. When the British were losing so many men on the front, and they had to bring up more and more, so they called for volunteers out in China for labourers, and this was the important thing. They were going to be labourers, not combat troops. So a lot of people volunteered, particularly peasants in China, volunteered, and they were shipped across to Canada, where they were trained, had their basic training there, and then across to the Western Front, where they were in Flanders, they were around in Passchendaele. Now, technically, they weren't supposed to be fighting, but tell the Germans that. When people are firing shells around, they don't always stop to ask your nationality. So they did find themselves in very dangerous situations. They were killed by shell fire. They also suffered all of the problems of being under shell fire, shell shock, and so consequently there were some discipline problems. And also they felt they weren't being treated as they were told they were going to be treated. They were told they were going to be non-combat troops, and certainly they weren't armed and put on the front line, but they were left to work in very dangerous conditions and found themselves under fire sometimes. Many were killed, and many more died just after the war with the Spanish flu. This production has really come about through Blue Orange Theatre. Now, Blue Orange has been here for just over 10 years now in the Jewellery Quarter. Now, this production was written by a local man, Ian Henry, and he presented it to Blue Orange, who managed to get some arts funding to do some research and development, as it's called, with the Arts Council. That was a good starting point, and this was about 2 years ago. From that, we're now on our second run of this to produce a full-blown performance of it. So this time it's changed a great deal. The script has been changed. We've had some new writing put in by Emma Cooper, and also, of course, using Ian Henry's original script. So we've got a sort of hybrid script come from that, which enables us to work with a smaller acting team. So we've got 4 wonderful actors here who are based all over the country. London, Bristol, places like that. Not so much local, because it's a very specialised acting niche we were looking for here. And so we had to put the call out across the country. We had to audition by Zoom because of the pandemic, which was interesting itself. We found ourselves at one point auditioning somebody who was in a gym, somebody else was in a car, they weren't driving at the time, and somebody, believe it or not, was auditioning in a toilet at his place of work. So we've had some very strange experiences. However, from that we were able to cast this group of 4 actors who are taking on not just their core roles, they each play an individual character within the Chinese Labour Corps, but they also play all the other characters in the play. So they'll play the British officers, the sergeant major, the locals, even a German in one case. So they get to have lots of different characters to play. I mean, this has been a very challenging project, not least trying to find the right people to be in it, because although the play is in English, we needed people who could speak Mandarin Chinese, and that's not something that everyone can do, so therefore finding the actors was quite a challenge. We've been very lucky to find the 4 we've got here. They've been working very well together, to the extent that sometimes when I've finished rehearsals at 6 o'clock in the evening, and I'll go off home, and then I'll find out that they've actually gone off, had a bite to eat, and then come back to the theatre to rehearse by themselves. So it's dedication to duty. The public can get tickets for this anytime they want, really. They're on sale at Blue Orange. If you Google in Blue Orange, I think it's Blue Orange Theatre .co.uk, something like that. Don't ask me that one, I can never remember. But yes, it's on the website. Tickets are available in advance, or they are available on the door. The play opens on the 1st of February, runs to the 5th, which coincides with Chinese New Year.
Here are we, the Chinese Labour Corps!